Thank you for joining us. It's just a short broadcast. You can see, good evening from here. Read from Amnesty International. It said, Amnesty International welcomes the Court of Appeal ruling in Abuja, which discharged leader of indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, Nnamdi Kanu, of the charges against him. The Nigerian authority must abide by the ruling in compliance with its human rights obligations. Then let us go to Sun newspaper. Appeal court discharges acquits Nnamdi Kanu. You must understand that there is dismiss, there is struck out, there is struck off, there is strike out, there is bail, there is discharge only, there is caution and discharge, and there is discharge and acquitted. Discharge and acquitted is the highest of it all. Then it's not just the only thing Nnamdi Kanu have secured. He have secured discharge unconditionally. He have secured not one, no. He have secured bail, high conditional bail. He have secured international release again, UN group on arbitral arrest and illegal detention. They have discharged Nnamdi Kanu also. So now, and this case of Nnamdi Kanu started with Buhari's government, and ended up with Buhari's government through Appeal Court of Nigeria. But presently, we can see that Tinubu's government of Nigeria, because there have never been a Nigerian president, it is always tribal president. So Tinubu Yoruba's government of Nigeria, it was Buhari's Fulani government of Nigeria. It have never been at the center. There have never been a central president. It's all about tribe. You can see Yoruba now telling you we are in power. We are in power. Right? So it is all about tribal president. There have never been a Nigerian president. So now the Tinubu Yoruba president or Yoruba government of Nigeria is now pushing for trial of Nnamdi Kanu. And the question there is, what did you want to hear from the judge? What did you want to hear from the court? If the ones you have heard was not obeyed, what did you want to hear? This will be very short message. Your duty is to share, but the question remains, if discharge and acquitted was not obeyed, what do the Tinubu's government want to hear and obey? Because IPOB have maintained that they will never accept any court pronouncement apart from Nigeria obey court orders. Nnamdi Kanu have secured so many court discharges, none was obeyed right from 2015, which I will always remind, even if I remind them 100 times a day, it is not too much. And I will mention the few that I can remember. Honorable Justice Ademola of the Federal High Court, Abuja, 17th of December 2015, discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. It was not obeyed. Honorable Justice John Soho of the Federal High Court, Abuja, discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally in 2016 March. It was not obeyed. Honorable Justice Ahmed Muhammad of the Federal High Court, Abuja, told the DSS to go and obey the court ruling of Justice Amodemola and Justice John Soho. It was not obeyed. Bintanyaku granted Nnamdi Kanu high conditional bail. He was enjoying his bail and waiting for his date of court. And the Nigerian state conspired with Bintanyaku and sent army to go and kill Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because Bintanyaku's conspiracy showed in her court when he threw away the application IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer filed in her court in 2019 over the invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house by the Nigerian army, which she was pointing out that the shorties should provide Nnamdi Kanu, which she knew that the date of court of Nnamdi Kanu have not come before the invasion of his house. Bintanyako, that's why I call her Injustice Fatima Binta Motlanyako, who refused to call the Nigerian army, mentioned them as at least, why did you go to the house of Nnamdi? That's why I said she conspired with them, because in this present time, Bintanyako was busy welcoming amended charges that borders between 2018 to 2021, which have nothing to do with the period of years that Mazi Nnamdi have stood trial, which is 2012, 2015, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, yes, 2017. But let me just start it from Buhari's own experience. 2015, 2016, 2017, they charged him for overthrowing Buhari, attempting to overthrow Buhari, and carrying on terrorism against Nigerian state. Then they granted him bail on this very matter 2017. But they kidnapped him from Kenya in 2021. They started amending charges that have nothing to do with the year of 2015, 2016, and 2017. All the amended charges borders 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. That is to say, it is the conspiracy of Bintanyako, because Nigeria would have come clear and said that they are giving Nnamdi Kanu another new warrant. It will be clear. You cannot take somebody, grant somebody bail on charges. It wasn't Nnamdi Kanu charged to court in 2015, 2016, 2017 because of NSAS that will happen in 2020. The answer is no. Wasn't Nnamdi Kanu granted bail because of unknown government 2020? The answer is no. Wasn't Nnamdi Kanu granted bail because of attack on annexed facilities? The answer is no. He was granted bail because he broadcast on Radio Biafra. He was granted bail because they charged him for terrorism for broadcasting on Radio Biafra. He was granted bail because they charged him for mutiny, that is treason, for having IPOB, forming IPOB. They say it's an unregistered organization in Nigeria. They also say that Radio Biafra is also not registered in NCC, NBC, National Broadcasting Commission, right? That it is also illegal. But how come when he was granted bail in 2017, they went to go and kill him, it fell, then they kidnapped him in 2021, they started bringing charges that have nothing to do with 2015, 2016, 2017. I know why I hit here. Then let us continue. Our people are counting it. That is our basis of argument. Let us continue. Reaching in 2022, what is the date? January 19, a state high court sitting in Umuahia gave a verdict that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail, but he escaped military assassination attempts. The court also directed that Nigerian government should apologize to Nnamdi Kanu at least from 3 pages, front pages of newspaper. They should also pay Nnamdi Kanu compensation and also meet him for discussion, which is referendum he's talking about. Then, coming again in June 2022, UN gave order that Nnamdi Kanu should be freed immediately and gave them 6 months to free IPOB family members in their detention and also look into the matter of Nnamdi Kanu, which is referendum. None was carried on. Nigerian appeal court decided Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally on the 13th of October 2022. None was obeyed. Are you counting it? Then, reaching on the 26th of October, these are the ones I can remember. People will still remember one. Remember more and write it on the comment. I'm not talking of the violation of his fundamental human rights. Those ones are about 50 court pronouncement. None was obeyed. It's about 50 from 2015 till now. Allow him to change his clothes. Take him to Kuje prison. Allow him access to his praying material. Allow him access to his doctor. Those orders have been mentioned. Those rulings have been given on the favor of Nnamdi Kanu not less than 50 times. DSS doesn't obey. But I'm just calling the ones that say Nnamdi Kanu should leave the detention facility of any kind. Now, 26th of October 2022, a federal high court sitting in Umuahia discharged Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the order that he should be transferred back to Kenya, where he was kidnapped from. So, what we are now asking is, if this very court pronouncement was not obeyed by the Nigerian state, even under the government of Buhari, and ended in the government of Buhari, which Tinubu knew that they inherited empty case file. From the update here, from Amnesty International and Sun newspaper nullifies every trial of Nnamdi Kanu as it stands now, because Nigeria committed terrorism against Nnamdi Kanu as their court ruled, and by condemning the approach whereby they arrested Nnamdi Kanu. That is to say, they committed terrorism against Nnamdi Kanu in his house, Afaruku, and also in Kenya. Then they have no ground to try Nnamdi Kanu when they are also offenders. They have offended Nnamdi Kanu. They have failed international. So what is their ground in trying Nnamdi Kanu and charging for terrorism? It is not normal. So now, what we are now saying is, what do Tinubu want to hear from the judge? Do you want to hear that Nnamdi Kanu is convicted? Do you want to hear he's been sentenced to death? Do you want to hear that Nnamdi Kanu have been sent to life imprisonment because IPOB have no other ear? Our ears are not open to hear any other court pronouncement. If the charged and acquitted cannot be obeyed, then the thing that Nigerian state want to hear will also not be accepted by IPOB, because the same Buhari's government was the one who brought war against indiscipline. They call it first come, first serve. Why is it that those things was not obeyed? Court orders was not obeyed. How many did I mention? Is it not all up to 9 or 8? Then why are they still taking Nnamdi Kanu to court when they do not believe in their court? Why are they trying to play with the mindset of the people when they do not believe in their court? From what I have mentioned here and from what the picture on my screen, ask yourself, why are they giving date to try Nnamdi Kanu if they are not comfortable with their court? Before you show us your comfortability in your court or with your court, you must first of all obey court order. Do you know the most wicked one is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu secured the charged and acquitted, which is the highest of it all, that every detainee expects to secure in all his or her case. Then, do you know that Nnamdi Kanu, his own case, did not even enjoy it for a minute? Do you know that Nigerian state did not give Nnamdi Kanu 10 minutes of freedom? Did you know that Nigerian state did not give Nnamdi Kanu 1 hour of freedom? At least his hard-earned freedom, hard-earned victory, hard-trick goal, they didn't give it to him. They were there shouting that they filed stop execution, which is illegal in this matter. It cannot work. So this is what I have to present this very evening. You can see the environment where I am. Very, very dark, but my voice is not dark. And the argument is not dark. Just the environment, because we are in the zoo. That is why we are arguing that Nigeria should do the needful in freedom fighting. Freedom fighting is when you try to jail the man, when it fell, then you free the man. Even if you jail the man, if his agitation is still on, wasking, you see that it has no ending to his agitation, then you have to free the man and do what is needful. So, thank God that IPOB did not present gun. IPOB present referendum as our request. Our agitation is optional. We have presented option that is suitable to everybody, cannot intimidate the country, cannot intimidate the citizens of Biafra. Referendum is a neutral ground play. It is a neutral ground march where people will decide by themselves. And that is the option we have presented and must be done. So Nnamdi Kanu have defeated and Tinubu have nothing to do, because there is no other thing that should come from the court apart from Nigeria obeying their court order. What do you want to hear? If the court said they convict Nnamdi Kanu, will you obey it? And they will not obey the charged and acquitted. It is wrong, and people should rethink that the people you are dealing with are not fools. We are not foolish, we are not stupid, we know what we are doing, and we are following up. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be freed because he have defeated his enemy. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be released because there is no other time to try him. These very delay tactics by Tinubu should not continue, because there is something you want to achieve in the court and cannot supersede the ones that Nnamdi Kanu have achieved in court. There is no court pronouncement currently that IPOB will allow to supersede the already secure victories of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB. So nobody should be dreaming that Nnamdi Kanu is being facing trial and that if he is being found guilty. That is rubbish. People should not joke with our intelligence because you must obey court orders before you expect any other court ruling. From me, fearless Ipob evangelist Mazi. Thank you, my brother, Lucky Okechukwu. I am broadcasting right here, though it is dark, but from our studio, do not mind our environment. That is why we need Biafra. One of the reasons we have everything, but we do not have the government. All they do is to surround our land with armies and police because they have come here to rob. They do not come here to favor us because Nigeria was not created to favor anybody. Nigeria was created because the North is too poor. So they wanted to furnish the North with the wealth in the East, right, or from the South. But this is 110 years from 1914. The North is too poor still today. So there is no gain for creating Nigeria because the purpose of creating Nigeria was not achieved after 110 years. Even 200,000 years more will not make North to be rich. So it is time for people to go on their separate ways. You must go to the foundation of things. You know, if this house will last, if this house will not shake. Nigeria's the main purpose of the creation by the God of Nigeria, Lugard, was because the North is too poor. So they did not create it because they want to build the economy. That's why people are crying over economy. The government does not listen to him because it was created because the North is too poor. It was not created for you to feel happy or for you to have a good economy or for you to have value, currency value. No. All you were created is because of the wealth in the South to use it in the North, but they handed it over to foreigners. After all, the North is too poor. It's still too poor because the Babangida did not do them and do anything for them. That is as human beings, not building a house or building Abuja. That is rubbish. When the people that lives in Abuja are hungry, Absalami did nothing. Abacha did nothing. Musa Yar'Adua did not. Umaru, sorry, did nothing. After all these things, it doesn't matter the structure or the policy you placed on Nigeria and move away every foreign presence away from the East to the North. After all these things, will you go and start eating the white man? No, you don't have food. That is rubbish. Where is the money Abacha packed? Why is it that they didn't fight poverty? Why is it that they didn't fight illiteracy? Why is it that they didn't fight deadly diseases? Why is it that they didn't fight all these things? But Nigeria was created because the North is too poor. But the Northerners was put in place to make the North rich. They failed. Then I wonder, what do other tribes expect to have in Nigeria if the main citizens, number one citizens of Nigeria, which is the North, cannot enjoy Nigeria, have not benefited from the Nigeria, even as they have ruled Nigeria for 46 years. After 64 years of independence, they took 46 years. So what is their gain? Then what is Yoruba man expecting to gain from Nigeria if the North did not gain it? What is the Easterner want to gain from Nigeria if the North did not gain it? And that is why Ipob say, give us referendum. We don't want to force our people out of Nigeria when they still cherish Nigeria. We also don't want to force our people into Biafra when they don't want Biafra. But it should be divided. It should be decided by themselves that Fulani should continue to rape our mothers. It will happen in the voting during referendum. It is left for our people to vote for Nigeria, then, or to vote for Biafra. Then, after this, we'll thank our Creator that we have done our own. But with the gun, threat, illegal detention, and intimidation, surrendering our land with any kind of weapon will not stop us from agitation. And then Nnamdi must be freed. He has no case, and he's an innocent man. Thank you, Muchineke. Thank you from me, from here. It is good evening. Thank you. Thank you very, very much.